Okay, everyone, to start this weekend of meals, I'm starting with breakfast on this Friday morning, and I'm going to make some ham and cheese omelets. And this is a food pantry meal because we received a ham from the food pantry yesterday, so I went ahead and tore some off, and I'm going to put that inside the omelets. This cheese was received from the pantry last month, and this cheese, we did receive eggs from the pantry yesterday, so that's going to be part of it, obviously, for omelets. And I don't want any rolling off the counter. We received this jalapeno pepper cheese yesterday at the food pantry. And yeah, so both cheeses from the pantry. So everything you see here except the mix of jalapenos, mushrooms, and onions. This was I made this about a month ago, and it's just chopped up stuff I put in Glenn's omelets. So that's going to be our breakfast on this Friday morning. So I'm going to go ahead and start these omelets and get them cooked. Alright everyone, so here is breakfast on this Friday morning. Ham and cheese omelet from the off the bone ham. And that's going to do it for breakfast. Stay tuned for the next meal on this Friday. Alright everyone, so we just got done with breakfast. Blueberry muffin mix. Glenn likes blueberry muffins. He likes blueberry in general. I don't. So I'm going to make these for him. It's just a small pack, so I'm thinking it makes about 6 muffins. And you just have to add a half a cup of milk. Oh my gosh, as soon as I cut this open, the blueberry smell just came out. I don't like that smell whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to add in half a cup of milk. And that's all you need to add into this. So I'm just going to mix this up now. I got the oven preheating to 400. I'm just going by the directions on the package. You can definitely smell those blueberries. Let's see how much it gives us. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be 5 muffins. So I'll take this one out. Swipe off the edge here. And we're going to throw them in the oven for, what does it say? 14 to 16 minutes. Glenn is going to want sprinkled sugar on top. But he wants me to try some of the color one because the crystals are a little bigger than the normal granulated sugar, and he wanted me to do it as soon as they got out. But I think I'm actually going to sprinkle some on top and see how that comes out. I'll do it on 3 of them. Yeah. I'll do it on 3 of them, see how that comes out. Alright. Whoops. These are done. Put the toothpick through it. Came out clear. And it looks like the ones I put sugar on came out just fine. But since they're hot, I'm going to see if I can put some sugar on these. I didn't think they were going to stay on there. That's why I went ahead and did it this way. I probably should have done that for all of them. That's okay. I did it for 3 of them. Alright, so we'll just let those cool off, and Glenn will probably have some coffee with that. Alright everyone, so it's time for the next meal, which is supper on this Friday night, and I'm going to be making a budget form of broccoli beef. I'm going to be using ground beef. So we all know how expensive steak is out there and other meats, and about the cheapest is your ground beef. So I'm going to be using some ground beef and some frozen broccoli, and this is going to be a budget form. So I'm going to make the sauce right now to go in the ground beef and the broccoli. And then I'm going to go ahead and start some white rice and get my ground beef going. So this is so easy. I'm also going to use some cornstarch to thicken up the juice. So yeah, same way you would make broccoli beef in normal style, just using ground beef. That's it. So yeah, this is your budget form of broccoli beef. So I'm going to use a can of beef broth. And then I'm also going to throw a little bit of brown sugar in it. I'll throw some salt and pepper in there. And I'm even going to use this sauce. I'll just call it the W sauce. I know some of you have told me how to pronounce it, but I'm going to deem it the W sauce. And a little bit of soy sauce. Now I'm picky about my soy sauce. I only use Kikkoman. Soy sauce, like other things, it tastes different with certain brands. So I just use Kikkoman's, that's it. And I'm going to throw a little bit of garlic powder in there. And then I'm just going to whisk this up. And then I'll season to taste once it's cooking. Now I just made some white cupcakes for dessert. Earlier in the day I made blueberry muffins for Glenn, just like from the package. And now I don't like blueberry, so I just made some white cupcakes. And it was just from the box, so nothing big. I didn't record making it since it's just from the box. And later on I'll just make my normal chocolate frosting for them. Alright, so that should be good. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start my rice and ground beef. Okay, so here are my white cupcakes. And for those of you that are new to the channel, just to let you know what I do with some of the cake mixes. This is just a white cake mix box. Sorry for the glare. And, sorry, just knocking everything over. It's not going to focus, but on the back, if you want to just use the whole egg and it ends up being like a yellowish cake mix, you can do that. I like it to be white, so I only use the egg yolks. But it's only Glenn and I, and Glenn, for those of you that are new, is my husband. And it's only us. We don't have kids or anything. And those are our fur babies in the background, so don't mind them. I only actually make half of the box. So I just, I do weigh it. And I just cut the ingredients in half. So this box was already open because I used it another time to make a Jell-O poke cake. And when you just use half of it, I use an 8x8 cake pan to make that. And then I just made this today, and it made 9 cupcakes. So not bad at all. So yeah, just to let you know what I do for those of you that are new and just joining the channel. And I want to thank you for subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. So just click that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. And also, please make sure you watch the ads in full, because that's how I make my money. So that's how I earn income from YouTube, is if you watch the ads entirely. So if you don't watch the ads, I don't get paid. So please do so. Okay, so I'm just cooking up my ground beef here. I'm not using that much because I'm the only one that's going to eat this. Glenn is going to eat his leftover pea soup whenever he's hungry. So I'm only using 3/4 pound of ground beef. I had a 1.5 pound block of ground beef, and I just broke it in half. And we'll use the other half for tomorrow's meal. Just trying to stretch our meats a little bit. Okay, so the meat is cooked. It's just that it's out of the pink stage, and that's where I'm going to take it out. I'm not going to go any further than that because you don't want to overcook your meat either. So it's just out of the pink stage. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it, drain this grease out, and then we'll start adding stuff to it. Okay, so I've drained the grease out of there, and what I'm going to do is just add in a bag of frozen broccoli. Well, it's thawed out now, but I'm just going to go ahead and add that in. I'm going to add in, this is just a 12-ounce bag, so it's not that much. That's the entire bag of broccoli. Some of it might be a little froze still, and that's okay because I'm going to let this simmer. And now I'm going to just add in the juice. And if I need to put more beef broth or anything in there, I'll add some. But I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let it simmer so the broccoli can get to the texture I want it. I like broccoli more on the softer side. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this now. Okay, so I'll let it simmer and I'll check on it in maybe about 5-10 minutes or so. And I'm just going to put the temperature, the heat, to a lower one. And we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, so this has been simmering for a bit now. and the broccoli's getting softer. So what I'm going to do now is just add some cornstarch into it to thicken up the juice. I know people make a slurry with water, but I just usually just put it in there. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm just going to throw some in there. And I'll do a little bit at a time. I'll mix it in and then I'll cover it again, let it simmer, and see how much it thickens up. And if it's not to my liking, and that's what this dish is, just like most dishes, it's to your liking. So if it doesn't get thick enough for me, then I'll add a little bit more cornstarch in there, and then we'll give it a taste test. So I'm going to cover this back up and we'll check back in on it. All right, everyone, so this is done and you can see the juice really thickened up. I did end up adding more cornstarch, and yeah, I would say it's to my liking. But again, however thick or thin you want your juice, determine how much cornstarch you put in. So I'm going to put some on a plate and do a little taste test, and then I'll be back. All right, so I went ahead and tasted this, and it actually is pretty good. The only thing is it felt like it needed a little more salty taste, so I just added a little bit of salt into this, and it brought the taste out more. So, and the broccoli was soft enough so I can cut it with my fork. So yeah, I think this came out pretty good. Again, budget broccoli beef. Just use some ground beef, a bag of frozen broccoli, and you'll keep it under $6 or $7. So there's plenty enough for 2 people at least, and probably a little bit more. So especially if you add a side, like I have some white rice. So yeah, that came out pretty good, I must say. The thickness is just right for me. And I'm going to go ahead and put some more in the plate and put some rice in. All right, everyone, so here is my plate with ground beef and broccoli and some white rice. So yeah, definitely happy with the way it came out. I'm happy with the thickness. And I even gave Glenn a taste test, and he's the one that didn't want to try it. He didn't think he would like it. And I just gave him a second little bowl. He didn't take that much because his stomach's not feeling the best, but he did take another bowl. So yeah, he actually thought it was not too bad at all. All right, so again, this is a meal, a budget meal, budget broccoli beef. Use the cheapest meat you can get, which is probably ground beef, a bag of frozen broccoli, which was less than $1, and seasonings and spices or whatever. Use what you have. You don't have to go out and buy new seasonings just to make it the way other people make it. Make it your own. I just used what I had. Salt, pepper, I had soy sauce, the W sauce, a little bit of garlic powder. I just used what I had, a little bit of brown sugar and some cornstarch, and just, however it came out, but this is definitely a meal I'm going to make again because I love the taste of it. So, yeah. So that is supper for this Friday night, and stay tuned for the next meal.